So, random but fair attribute generation. Is it possible? Hey guys, this is Jake Eldridge of Planarian Games. This video demonstrates 3 alternate methods of generating attributes for your D&D, D&D adjacent, or OSR style characters. Namely BARFLIP, GRIDFLIP, and Base13. All the methods shown in this video approximate 46 drop lowest, which is arguably the most popular random method. Adding all 6 attributes up will give you a total of 78. An average of 13 in any given attribute, and the scores will range from 8 to 18. Seems like hardly a day goes by when a social media or forum post doesn't boil up asking people if they prefer dice roll, standard array, or point buy. People who like dice rolls, they cite the fun in not knowing exactly what you'll get, which is valid. And those who like point buy or arrays like to avoid the dissatisfaction that often emerges from uneven power levels in the same party. I'm not really here to talk about those threads. You've read one, you've read them all. The point is that this is a contentious issue. It's far from a settled question. What if I told you that you could have it both ways? You can have all the fun of rolling, but still end up with balanced characters. The first way to do this is BARFLIP. Here, you take a base of 6 for each attribute, roll 1 die for each in order, then flip those dice and put them in any attributes you please. The thing about BARFLIP is that it has sort of a nature and nurture element, where the final attributes are partly up to fate and partly choice. Now to demonstrate, you see you have a 6 on the left side, that's your base. Roll your dice, 6 dice, and arrange them in order. If you don't trust yourself to jam them all up in a line, you can do it one by one. Put them in each of the boxes. You can be neat about it if you want. And shift them over so you can write. Now, here comes the weird part. You're going to roll these, not roll, but flip these dice over to the opposite side and arrange them in any attribute you want. This is your choice element. So you flip it over the opposite side like that. Sides should add up to 7. Not that you should check it every time, but 6 and 1 are reversed, as you can see. You can do 2 at the same time if you're feeling bold. I am. And like that, you have opposite sides of the dice. Now you're going to put those into each of the attributes on the flip boxes. Looks like I want to make a thief or rogue or what have you. High dex. Now if you don't get enough variance in the dice, if there's not enough variability, you can just feel free to roll them over again because you're not cheating anyone. It's going to end up 78 no matter what you do, unless you do it very wrong. Write the dice in the columns, and now you're going to do your totals. 6 plus 2 plus 3. There's your high one. And there you have it. Yeah, what looks like a pretty good thief or rogue to me. I use dry erase. I've laminated these. It helps. So this is another version of BARFLIP. It's really just set up so that you can pick a prime requisite and put a very reliable 6 score in that prime requisite. Otherwise, it's going to be essentially the same as the regular version. So here you can see I'm putting a 6 in strength. Let's say I'm making a fighter. And take the 5 dice and roll them, because of course you can't use the one that you put in. Set them up in a line as usual, stuff them in the attributes in order. Shuffle them over so you can write again. Looks like he has a good con too. And now for the flip step. Now you should be clear with your GM or DM, or your DM or GM should be clear with you whether you're using this method or not. Because it does give you a substantial advantage if you're going for a particular class. It's possible you could even do more than one prime requisite this way, but it would really take a beating on your other attributes. And there you have it. So the second method I'm going to talk about is GRIDFLIP, and it's similar to BARFLIP, as you can tell by the name. If you can do one, you can do the other. The difference is that GRIDFLIP just spits out 6 final scores without all the choice element. Some groups prefer this, and it is great for making random NPCs. So to demonstrate, you see that you have the 6 base, and that takes up the diagonal instead of the column. And you just roll your dice and put them in one at a time. I like to go in rows. So what you do is you add them up row-wise. Okay. But now don't add up the columns until after you flip them. So you're going to flip all these dice, in this case one by one. Make sure you flip them all. I like to go in order. Now you add up the columns for the flipped results. And there you have it, another set of scores. It's actually pretty quick compared to BARFLIP. So to make things even easier, there's actually an online generator for the GRIDFLIP method. And you can just go to the itch page and hit roll. There's really not much to it. You can hit roll all day if you want. And what this is really good for is if you want to give your group a set of attributes that all add up to 78, and they can choose from them, or if you just want to make a bunch of NPCs, this is also very good for that. So the last one, and this is kind of a bonus, is it turns out I found an equivalent method that's used in 13th Age, or at least on our online SRD. 13th Age is a pretty cool game. You should all check it out. I'm going to walk you all through this one too, as it's pretty clever, and it's a good alternative, especially if you don't mind subtraction. Okay, to demonstrate, you're going to roll 6 dice, and you're going to put them into these little alphabet categories. A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you're going to follow the instructions below. First score is 13 plus A minus B, comes out to 13. 13 plus B minus C, and that's 10. And so on. You just basically go down the line doing subtractions. And this again, it gives you, just like the other methods, an average of 13, scores a total up to 78. And there you have it. So that's all for now. I hope you got some ideas out of it. If you want the sheets that I was working on, go ahead and visit my drive-through and itch pages. Maybe you don't need them after I spilled the beans of this video, but they're good to have. There's also a few methods on them I didn't detail here. So until next time.